going to share with you in this video how to create heaven on earth and what this actually means. Is it an interesting spiritual idea that doesn't have any practical value and can't be grounded into physical existence? Or is there some real truth to this idea of creating heaven on earth? And can it be grounded into the physical where it allows you to live an amazing life and helps others to live an amazing life as well? In this video, I'm going to talk about how to create heaven on earth, in my opinion, what it all means, and how to actually ground it into the physical world, and if I believe that it is possible to do so at all. But obviously I believe to some degree that it is, otherwise I wouldn't be recording this video. So this is going to be how to create heaven on earth. So if you're new to this channel, what I want you to do is I want you to hit that subscribe button. I want you to hit that notification bell because I do post a new video every single day. Also, if you want to work with me one-on-one personally, hit the link that's in the description box of this video. Now, the first thing I want to share with you in terms of how to create heaven on earth is to, number one, you want to shift into a mindset of what I call the win-win dynamic. The win-win dynamic. And this is really what some people call co-creation is really about. Now, what is the win-win dynamic? The win-win dynamic is to understand that you win and also the other person wins. That's life. That's what I believe normal life actually is. We live in a society where wanting what you want is somehow perceived as a bad thing. Like, how crazy is that? Is that, it might seem obvious when I say it in this video in this way, but if you really think about it, it's pretty interesting, to say the least. I don't know if that's the right word, but let's use that word for now. How we in society all collectively believe that individually wanting what we truly want is a bad thing. And then also, everybody believes that. So it's not just individually, we kind of all collectively believe this we have this belief system where wanting what we want is bad. And then so that means basically what we're saying to ourselves is that we can't win. We can't be winners in life. We can't embody our truth. We can't just give ourselves permission to fully win. And if you can't be a winner, how are you going to help somebody else to be a winner? I want to say that one more time. If you can't give yourself permission to fully want what you want, and to fully win, and to fully be a winner, and to, create your reality unapologetically, how are you going to help somebody else win? Because if you're losing and you're not creating from a space of abundance, you can't really help anybody else do the same. So what I encourage you to do is to open yourself up to the fact that the win-win dynamic, which is what I believe co-creation to be, is what we need to start to think about if we want to create heaven on earth. Because what does this mean? This means that, for example, when you're doing something like business, right? Like I have a coaching business, for example, or whatever kind of business you're running, you want to look at it as like you're allowed to want money, for example. Like whatever you're doing, you're allowed to want the relationship that you want. You're allowed to create what you want. And in fact, not only are you allowed to want what you want, there's somebody out there that wants exactly what you want to create. So if you want to create, like, let's just say a podcast, there's somebody out there that genuinely, from the bottom of their heart, truly wants to listen to your podcast that has not been created yet. And they would genuinely get a lot of value, and they would genuinely really benefit from that. Whereas right now people think that, oh, if I create this, I'm being selfish, I'm not allowed to create what I want. Let's just say, for the purposes of explanation, let's just say you want to create a podcast. Like, oh, I'm not allowed to create a podcast, I'm too selfish, maybe I'm not worthy enough. But it's like, let me ask you this. Do you know how many people are not going to benefit because of your lack of worthiness? perhaps, like potentially, I'm not saying that this is you, but let's just say that it is you or anybody on the planet. Imagine there's somebody that wants to create this epic podcast, this amazing podcast, that they would love to create it for themselves, if they're honest, not just for other people. Don't pretend that like, oh, I'm just doing it for other people because I love helping people. You know, how about you screw all of that and be honest that you want to create something? Because this is what I believe too, is that we're not honest with ourselves. We all want something, but it's not about dishonoring you or dishonoring the other. It's about honoring everybody. Everybody gets honored on heaven on earth. You get what you want exactly as you want it because you consciously construct it in that way, and then somebody else shifts into that because that is how life literally works. Everything is a conscious agreement. So when you choose to create your reality and you finally give yourself permission to perhaps, create that podcast in the way that you want to create it, and then somebody else also sort of watches that podcast because of that choice that you made to watch it, and then you both come together, you get what you want, that person gets value from listening to that podcast, you genuinely enjoyed the creation of that podcast because it was in alignment with what you truly wanted to create, and you probably had a lot of fun to create that. Like, that is co-creation. And it's not just this, personally, in my opinion, just some spiritual idea that's like very out there. This is a very practical, grounded thing that is going to change the direction of society if we really understand what it means to co-create, what it means to win and then help others win. Like, so many people, like, I used to feel so guilty for, sharing my coaching services or wanting money. But then I got to the point where I realized that somebody else is going to genuinely benefit from the services that I'm offering. Or for example, like, I'm recording this video right now and I genuinely am enjoying the process of recording this video. I want to record this video. Of course, I like to grow my channel. I think that people deserve to get access to this very valuable content. I love to sort of push my energy out into the world, not in like a manipulative way, but just in a way where, like, I love what I do. I love to create what I love, what I create. I love to be in that process of creating. And what's funny is that there's somebody out there like you that's watching this video right now that's genuinely getting value from that, that's getting something from that, and that's the win-win. That's literally what creating heaven on earth is giving yourself permission to be your best self and knowing that other people benefit from that because you're leading by example and giving them permission, not by telling them to do it, but just by being who you are, that they can also do the same. And it's just about owning that it is normal to win, okay? It's normal to win. I want to conclude this first point by saying it is normal for you to be epic and to win at life and to create what you want, and then to allow others to join you in that sort of story that is unfolding for you, that you're consciously co-creating, which is the universe creating through you, or you're creating it. Doesn't matter, however you want to see it. Like, you have a right to win. You have a right to be a winner. Now, number two, how to create heaven on earth is to stop creating from lack. So start to create from abundance versus lack. Most people create what they want from a space of believing that there's not enough, right? So you're creating something, you're trying to make more of life, or to shift into, perceive more of life. I don't know if creating is the right word, because really everything does already exist, and really you're shifting into that reality that already exists and consciously embodying it. But let's use the word creation for the purposes of keeping this explanation as simple as possible. Most people create from a space of lack, believing that there's not enough, believing that there's not enough money, that there's not enough resources, that there's not enough, contacts, whatever. There's not enough of something, or, maybe if I create this, I'm worried about this thing in my life not working out, or, if I go after this business, I'm afraid of losing this particular thing in my life, or if I, create this relationship, I'm afraid of missing out on an experience And like it's just FOMO. It's just fear of missing out. You ever heard of fear of missing out? Most people don't give themselves permission to be continually in this present moment, be embodying who they want to be from a fearless place, because they're simply creating from a space of lack. You know, when you're creating from a space of not believing that everything exists, you best believe, ironically, that that is going to impact your creations and other people as well. You know, not only are you going to lose in a way, because you're not going to lose absolutely speaking, but I guess relatively speaking, you're going to lose for the purposes of the explanation, but you're not going to be really, truly, in my opinion, helping anybody else, because you're fueling the program of lack. Okay, I'm going to say that one more time. When you're embodying a frequency of lack, you're fueling that program in the collective consciousness. And you're basically leading by example, in the sense that there's not enough, I'm not allowed to have what I want, I can't create what I want, and you're showing others that that's the reality that you prefer to experience, even though you don't necessarily want that. And so in my opinion, that's a really unfortunate thing, because that's not the best way to live life, you know? Do you want to be fueling a program of lack where you're proving to yourself more and more and more that there's not enough, and that others should also be living in that way, and that you should lose and that others should lose with you? That's what the ego does, by the way, is it basically creates a reality of where it loses. It convinces itself why it should lose, and then it also convinces others why they should also lose, and then we all lose together. Like this, like how much more practical can we get here? Like these topics I perceive sometimes can sound a little bit ungrounded, but think about it. Think about the way that I'm explaining this right now. How much more practical do you really want to get? How much more down to earth do you want to get than what I'm sharing with you in this video? Like, it is about winning and then helping others win, you know? So if I'm, you know, sharing somebody a business service, like I genuinely believe that I'm gonna win because I'm gonna be benefiting from that interaction. Perhaps I'll be making money or whatever, and then they're genuinely going to be getting some kind of a service and benefiting from that. And then so it's the same thing with this video, or you know, anything else that I'm creating. Like, I don't believe that to get what I want, that is causing like a sacrifice for someone else. Like, that's not my paradigm of reality. But this is a problem. This is how we live in life, is that we genuinely believe that if I get what I want, I need to sacrifice something in my life, and then so does that person. Like, do you see how flawed that is? I hope this is hitting home for you, whoever's watching this, or for all of you, because like, are you really seeing the dysfunction of that way of living? I'm gonna say it one more time. We believe that to get what we want, we have to sacrifice something. And if we believe we have to sacrifice something to get what we want, we're fueling that program. And then that also means that we believe that somebody else outside of us, which is a reflection of us, they also have to sacrifice. So we're fueling this subconscious program of there is not enough in society. There's not enough to go around. I can't have what I want, and if I get what I want, I need to lose something. Then if I lose something, then I need to feel guilty because I know that that's taking away from someone else's reality. That's not how it works. You know, you literally can have what you want without controlling anybody, or you know, forcing your energy onto somebody, or feeling resistance in your body, and it really can be heaven on earth. And you know, I've had objections before with clients, and I've had people say to me before, Francis, that sounds too good to be true, you know? Now, one thing I'll tell you though, is that not only is it not too good to be true, my claim, which is why I'm recording this video, is that it is your natural state of being to create your reality from a space of abundance. That is your free will right as a being, as a creator, where you're allowed to create what you want from that space of abundance, knowing that there is enough, knowing that you're allowed to create what you want, knowing that you don't have to be lacking, knowing that you don't have to take away from someone else's reality. If you get what you want, that is going to assist in someone's reality. Me manifesting everything I've ever wanted is a support system to other people's reality. Okay, you manifesting that podcast that you want, or that music career that you want, or that YouTube channel, or whatever you want to create, that is a support to people's life. That is not taking away from people's life. That is a support system. If you want to be a coach, that is helping people. That is giving them value. That's helping you and helping the other. We live in an interconnected, symbiotic life, and you have to honor all of it. If you want to win, you need to help others win in a way. You know, if you want others to win, you got to help yourself win. And if you want to win, it goes both ways. You know, you want to help somebody else win, well, then you got to win. You know, if you want to win, you got to help somebody else win. That's what it means to create from abundance. Really, that's what it means to create heaven on earth. So creating from abundance versus lack is the second step to create heaven on earth, in my opinion. Now, number 3 is to give yourself permission to embody fully your dream reality right now. To fully step into that reality that you want, right? And give yourself permission to, embody and fully construct your reality in a way that is completely up to you. Because you're at this point right now, perhaps in your life, where you can consciously construct anything you want. Like, how amazing is that? Like, when you're like a little kid and you have those Legos that you're playing with, that you just you have all this freedom, to construct anything. Like, that's what you are right now, basically. You basically construct, and I didn't make this up, by the way. I got this analogy from actualize.org. I don't want to take credit for that. But what you want to realize is that it's another YouTuber, by the way, or another teacher, whatever you want to call him, another human being on this planet that serves and has information. Surprise, surprise. We all are interconnected and get information from different sources. So one thing I want to share with you is that you can give yourself permission to embody that version of you that you prefer to be right here, right now. You can simply use your consciousness to shift into that version of you. Creating heaven on earth is understanding that your past does not define who you choose to be in this present moment, okay? Who you choose to be in this present moment has nothing to do with your past. Nothing. It has nothing to do with your past. And if you believe that it has to do with your past, then you're going to be fueling a program of lack, because the past is not real in a way. It's just whatever's happening now. The past really is what's happening now, because what's happening now is a result of your past intentions. So what you want to do, in my opinion, to create heaven on earth is to see that there is always more. There's always more that wants to come through. No matter what happened in your past, no matter what you've been through, as cliche as it sounds, no matter what you believe about the past and what has happened in the past, and I did this thing in the past before, and this thing happened to me, and so here are the reasons why I can't be who I want to be, Francis, because when I did it in the past, these things went wrong. This person invaded my boundaries. This thing happened with my with my health or my body, so I can't do this in my life. Or you can't take action on this particular area of your life because in the past, Francis, I've taken action on this area of my life, and when I did it, everything went wrong. Yeah, all of that is not real. You can change that in an instant, okay? In an instant. This present moment is so abundant. There's so much infinite possibilities that can happen right now. All these things that you think are gonna go wrong may not happen if you do that thing that you really want to be doing. If you believe that it has to be defined from your past, then you may manifest it into existence. But if you become conscious that that past is not who you are, you stop creating it, okay? When you become conscious that the past is not who you are, you stop creating the past. If you believe that you are the past, then you create the past every single moment. You keep recreating the past more and more and more and more and more. That's how most people live their life in society right now, unfortunately. They're recreating the same past experiences in this present moment as if that past experience is still a reality when it happened 15 years ago. That's pretty messed up, no? Having a past trauma that happened 15 years ago, still living it over and over 15 years, not creating what you want because you believe that past has to define you. That's not heaven on earth. That's the opposite of heaven on earth. That's believing that the past has to define you and then living by example, and then showing others that they also need to believe in their past, and then convincing others in a very sort of attached way why they should also be subscribing to that same perspective when you don't even want to be doing it also. Okay, that's a problem. So not absolutely, relatively, that's a problem. And I always say that because everything's perfect. It's all good, like absolutely it's all good. There's nothing wrong. I'm not here to say there's something wrong if you're doing this, like, oh, he is creating the past and I'm judging him for it, you know? Like, you're creating the past and you're a bad person. No, I've done this before. I have created the past. You know how many loops I fell into even the last couple months that I had to work through to become conscious of, to then reprogram myself to see that I can be in an effortless and easeful state most of my day, and that I don't need to consciously create negative resistance. You know how many patterns I had to live through to get to that point? I'm not judging you. I'm just telling you that the past doesn't have to define you. And I'm coming from a place of compassion and love, because I don't want anybody to be creating the same experiences over and over and over and over and over, and then they're convincing others that they also have to be doing the same thing in their own way. I'm not judging anybody. I'm just telling you that it's not a good way to live, in my opinion. You know, it's not a good thing to do. So what is the solution? The solution is to, first of all, open yourself up to the fact that what I'm saying is not only not too good to be true, but what I believe is that it's your natural state of being. It's who you are. It's who you actually are. It's who you can choose to be in this present moment. You can choose to shift into any structure, into any timeline, into any identity, into any aspect of consciousness right here, right now. You have full permission to do so, not to mention the fact that you can do so from a space of abundance and not lack, okay? And once you've opened yourself up to this possibility, you can become it right now. The past is not who you are. You decide who you want to be. The question is, who are you going to decide to be, and what will you choose to embody in this present moment and the upcoming present moments that are going to be continually unfolding in your life. Now, that's all I have for this video. Once again, if you want to work with me one-on-one personally, hit the link that's in the description box of this video to apply for a free consultation. Also, please hit that like button for me so that more people can get access to this content, because I do believe that every single person on this planet does deserve to know that they are the creators of their reality, and that they can do so and manifest their reality in the most effortless and easeful way possible. And hitting that like button does help the algorithm push the videos out to more people, and so that they can get access to what I believe to be incredibly valuable content. Also, leave a comment down below what your thoughts are on this video topic idea of creating heaven on earth. I would love to hear your thoughts about it. If you want to, you don't have to, if you want to. And as always, enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you in the next video.